Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World, where today we are taking a look at one of my personal favorite new releases of the year, and this one here is none other than the Artisan Cutlery Revel. Now, before I go any further into this review, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in today. If you like what you see, please do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, follow along, and I will continue to bring you the content. Now, let's take a look at some overall specs on this knife right here. We have an overall length coming in at 8.07 inches, a blade length of 3.54 inches, and a blade thickness at 130 thousandths. Blade material on this guy is S90V. We have a beautiful clip point style blade with a nice flat grind, a handle length coming in at 4.53 inches, and a handle thickness right around 420 thousandths. Handle material on this guy, titanium, contoured titanium at that, with a solid frame locking mechanism and a user of a right hand only tip up carry. A weight coming in at a very reasonable 3.77 ounces, especially for the size of this big boy. Designed by Ray Laconico. The dude probably has to be my favorite designer. Love Ray's work. And we have a price coming in at $199.90. Now, there's a few reasons why I personally love this Revel design. A lot of it has to do with the ergos. A lot of it has to do with the aesthetics. I liked it so much. I paid Ray Laconico $600 for a true custom of the Revel. And we're gonna review the production Revel, and we're gonna compare it to the custom Revel, and just kind of give you guys my take on the differences, because there truly are some advantages to the production over the custom. Now, with that being said, I'm not necessarily saying the production is better than the custom, but there are some considerable advantages to the production outside of being $400 less. And we'll go into that here in a bit. But first, let's kind of just talk about the production Revel by itself, because we still have a beautiful clip point blade. As you can see, it is somewhat different than the production version. I know we were going to talk about just the production, but we're going to bring the custom in here too. A few different accents. The biggest differences being the flat grind on the blade versus the slicey hollow grind. We're coming in at around 19 thousandths behind the edge on the production, as to where the custom is a slicier hollow grind that's coming down to about, I think that was 15 thousandths. I measured it a long time ago, but it's noticeably thinner just by feeling behind the edge, especially now with the hollow grind. You kind of I feel like hollow grinds just feel thinner in general, especially at the edge. But yeah, some noticeable differences, but that should be expected when you're comparing a production to a custom, But in terms of overall size and length and all that good stuff, we're looking at some very similar knives here. And even from a material standpoint, we got a titanium handle and a titanium handle. Now, the S90V is compared to a MagnaCut blade on the custom, so, take that for what it's worth. But still, two really good-looking blades. A better sharpening choil than what you have on the production, but the production version isn't terrible. I would say it's a pretty standard, plunge grind on that. It could probably be a little better, but it's not terrible. It's basically the same type of plunge grind you see on most Artisan cutlery knives. But the blade itself is still just fantastic for EDC. Lots of belly, lots of sharpened edge, slicey edge, nice tip for piercing, and some really good jimping up top that feels incredibly well in the hand. That's another thing I love about this knife, is just the overall ergos, because the placement of the jimping on the flat top up here at the blade, and then just the contoured titanium. Ooh, the contoured titanium feels fantastic in hand. A perfect amount of length, and the kind of the curves within the inner part of the handle just fit perfect in my hand. So I would give the ergos on this guy like a solid 9 out of 10. I mean, it's really good. So from an ergonomic standpoint, it's fantastic. From a visual aesthetic standpoint, I mean, get out of here. This is just phenomenal. I think one of my favorite parts about this knife was how they went with kind of I believe this is a bead blasted. Yeah, I would say this is a bead blast or some type of media blasted finish, maybe a glass blast, because it does have a very silky, it doesn't look like a typical bead blast to me. Let's see here. Yeah, I would say that's some type of blast. But it just looks great. And the slight contrast you get from the darker gray, this is some type of like a cobalt gray on the titanium. And I love those different shades of neutral colors. They just look so stinking good. The clip is the same shade of gray or, raw metal as the blade. And the handle itself is that darker cobalt gray. Just an absolutely kind of like a smoky finish almost. Just a phenomenal, phenomenal slight contrasting color and works so well on this knife in general. So aesthetically, it is a 10 out of 10 for me. Absolutely fantastic. And when you go into the handle, everything on it is just so smooth. I love this clip, the contoured titanium milled clip. Excellent clip, carries great in the pocket. You're not going to have a whole lot of the knife sticking up. Pretty standard for a milled clip, if not maybe a little less than normal than some other milled clips, because they have the clip all the way at the butt of the handle. And everything on this knife, it just flows so well, and it feels great. Now, when it comes to what I like more about the custom versus the production, a couple things. One, I love the stone-washed grind with the satin flats. I think that looks better. I like the slight little bit of extra angles and design you have in the blade compared to, kind of what you see on the production. But what I like most about the production as compared to the custom, because this is the big advantage. Yes, the production is $200 less than the custom, but the biggest advantage is on the frame lock, because on the frame lock, you have a lock bar insert and you have an over travel stop. You don't have either one of those on the production. You just have a titanium frame lock. There is no over travel stop. There is no insert up top. So some people will really complain about that. Personally, I've had no issues. I've actually carried this knife a lot more than I thought I would. It's held up great. I don't have any issues with it whatsoever, and I'm still completely happy with the purchase. Now, granted, I don't go buying a custom very often. This is the only custom I've ever had. And when you buy a custom, you're not necessarily buying a custom to buy the best knife ever, right? Because you can make a really good argument that this production version could hold up as well as this custom. It all depends on how hard you use your stuff. I bought this custom because I love Ray Laconico's work. I wanted to support him as a maker, as a person, and just his art of knife making is incredible. I wanted to support him. That's why I bought this. And I'm still happy with it, and I would buy it over and over again. I wouldn't buy 4 or 5 of them, but if I didn't have this, I would buy it again. But no, I am very, very happy with my purchase of this still. But again, it is really, really nice to have that over travel stop and lock bar insert. That's a huge advantage. And I do definitely like the clip on the production version much more than the custom. I mean, the custom is a very simple bent titanium clip. It's nothing special, right? But yeah, so there's definitely some advantages here. You save $400, you get an incredible knife, with very nice action as well. This is running on bearings, very, very smooth, and middle finger flicking is very, very nice. You can also just do kind of the thumb roll if you're not very good at middle finger flicking, but I really feel like I don't know. Middle finger flicking is, one of my favorite ways of deployment, and it's very, very easy on this knife. So that's a really nice thing. The one last comparison I'm going to make with these two knives that I'm really bummed out about the production. This is the one thing that I think could have made the production even better was, as you can see, there's clearly a front flipper on the custom and there's not a front flipper on the production. Now, with that being said, let me show you guys something. You can still front flip it rather easily, but it's clearly not the same as, a true built-in front flipper that is very smooth and very enjoyable. So I don't know why they left the front flipper off. That could have been on purpose to try and help keep, a little more attention on the production. Maybe Ray didn't want the front flipper on the production version. So I get that, or, wanted to keep a little more eyes on the custom, have more of a reason to buy the custom coming with the front flipper. And I get that, I'm not really complaining because like I said, you can still front flip this. It's just not nearly as easy as it is on the custom version. But in terms of, apples to apples and saying, is this production model as good as the custom version? Well, I would say in terms of just quality and, bang for your buck. Obviously, the production is more bang for your buck. It truly is. But again, you're not buying custom knives for value. You never will be. You buy custom knives to support your favorite knife makers and to support a true art. So with that being said, you can't really compare it from a price standpoint. I am really happy with both of these. And minus the fact that this doesn't have a front flipper, I don't think Artisan Cutlery could have done a better job on this. I think this is one of the best knives they've come out with in a premium standpoint for quite a while. Probably in the past 3 years. As a matter of fact, the other premium version that I'm really digging is one that came out this year as well, the Ornis from Dylan Mallory. These two premium knives right here from Artisan are really, really, really impressive. Some of the best knives they've ever come out with, in my opinion, especially with that premium price tag. And I am just in love with this Revel. So yes, I like it almost as much as the custom. The custom will always have a very special place in my collection. It's never going anywhere. But again, a lot of us are never going to buy customs, and that's fine. It's really, really nice to have an option like this Revel here for $199 or $200. It's a great option. It's incredible. It's one of Ray's best designs, in my opinion, and it has some phenomenal action and just, yeah. It's a smoke show. It is an absolute smoke show. Phenomenal knife from Artisan Cutlery, the Revel. You guys let me know which one. Obviously, you haven't handled either one of them, but which one do you think just looks better from an aesthetic standpoint? Do you prefer the production model with the slightly less stuff going on with the blade, but you're also, you're getting the benefits of a better looking clip and the over travel stop? Or do you just prefer the overall custom? Let me know what you guys think of this. I hope you enjoyed the comparison and review. Really, really good stuff coming from Artisan Cutlery. And this Revel is truly one of the best I've handled in quite a while. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And until the next one, I'm out.